Welcome back everybody to episode 24 in our F1 Manager 22 career mode, role-playing as Dario Franchitti, being the boss of AlphaTauri, and we begin Season 2. We are up to the first race in 2023, the Bahrain Grand Prix, and we're going to pick up right where the preseason finished. We have a development point for Danny Rick, which we're gonna put into. What could we do here? His main problem is pace, isn't it? It seems to be where we could give him the best benefit. We could also give him a bit better overtaking and also defending. But I think we're gonna give him, you know what? Last of the late breakers, isn't he? So we're going to go with braking for Daniel Ricciardo. So I will keep going until the Bahrain Grand Prix, unless something important pops up. I think we've just got some manufacturing stuff, as you can see on the right side here. We've got a few rear wings, front wings, suspensions, got a chassis being made. I don't think we are going to be finishing any designs until well after Bahrain. I think the first design we got is, I believe it's the side pods, and they're not ready for like another month. So I will catch you in Bahrain unless something critical pops up that needs our attention. Got an email from Ben Mitchell, our new race engineer, who is saying that Liam Lawson's got a couple of development points we can put into. So let's take care of that right now. We were working on his smoothness. We were trying to get him up to a somewhat respectable level on that. His next lowest is 56, which is adaptability. So if we can get his smoothness up to around that level, I think we'll be pretty good with that. There we go, the refurbishment of our wind tunnel is now complete. Let's back up to full working order. Excellent. Also the CFD simulation. Also, the CFD simulator has been refurbished. So those are two pretty big things that we have refurbished then, so that's good. So Claire has gotten in touch with us saying that our helipad needs to be either refurbished or upgraded. So we're just going to do a refurbish. I think I already clicked on it, yeah, I did. Going to be done after we get back from Bahrain. We also had our head of aero saying about the post-Bahrain test results, but overall we're not looking too bad. I like our cornering, and our dirty air cornering looks pretty good as well. Our top speed and acceleration could probably be a little bit better. Remember, we have got a new engine supplier for this season. We decided to jump ship from the Red Bull powertrain to Ferrari. We'll see what we can do with that once we get to Bahrain. So it looks like both our head of aero and our tech chief have unused development points. So before we head off to Bahrain, let's take care of that. We'll give him a point into underfloor since we are currently designing one of those. Head of aero. His DRS delta is the lowest, so I think we'll chuck. Oh, there we go. He's now gone up from a 78 to a 79. Sweet. I was going to say, yes, we'll chuck that point onto DRS delta. Nothing else to it, really. I will see you at the track.
Welcome to the archipelago of Formula One. Bahrain might have a small land footprint, but it's showing its big spirit right now in the grandstands. Either way, it's time for another fantastic weekend of Grand Prix racing. The Bahrain International Circuit is a challenging track, and the cars routinely have to brake from high gear to low to take the narrow turns. With the need for downhill braking, the risk of locking up is one drivers will need to manage. It's all about focus and balance to get victory here. At this early stage in the season, there are still plenty of opportunities for things to change. In this sport, there simply are no guarantees. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Formula One.
No real surprises for the weather. It's going to be no rain in sight here in Bahrain. Cloudy all 3 days, but other than that, it's going to be fine. So like what we did for pretty much the last third of the first season, I'm going to do all the practice sessions and we'll just do a recap at the end of it. I will show any incidents that took place, any spins or crashes, things like that, or if anything involved our drivers, I will also include. So I will see you at the end of practice 3.
There's been contact and several cars involved. Let's have a look. Now watch this. Here's the moment involving Albon. Oh no! And there's the crash. Mark my words, there'll be questions asked about that later. Who's that just crashed? Let's take a look at the replay. Now let's have a look. It's Lance Stroll. And there's the collision. It's caused absolute carnage. Here we are, back for another day of Formula One action, where practice wraps up and qualifying unfolds. Ahead of the race tomorrow, the teams will be putting their practice data to use and making sure that their drivers have the very best chance of setting a lap time that will edge out the competition in qualifying. Drivers may know a track inside and out, but unless they have the setup to complement their ability, their efforts may be for nothing. Stay with us as we see who can deliver on motorsport's biggest stage. Was that a crash? Multiple cars, I think. Let's see what happened there. Watch this. We're looking at Lando Norris. You can clearly see the contact there, and that caused a lot of damage.
Okay, that's the end of all 3 practice sessions. A few incidents, a few penalties as well. I don't think there was any in practice 1. I think the first penalty, yeah, Bottas and Zhou Guan Yu got penalties for causing multi-car crashes. I believe Bottas collided with, I think it was one of the Williams. It might have been Mick. And then I believe Zhou had a collision with, I think it was Latifi. I'm probably wrong. Oh no, Albon. Okay, it was definitely Albon because he's only got 8 laps on there. Oh yes, that's right. The Astons took each other out. And then in practice 3, the only other incident was Verstappen, as you can see, who got, well, I was going to say collected. He didn't actually get collected. He took out Lando and it knocked both of them out of the session. So he's got a penalty. So has Bottas and so has Zhou. That could be an interesting race because Verstappen's really been the guy who's been closest to us. As you can see, we are over a second clear in both practice 2 and practice 3. Practice 1, Pierre, we would have been over a second clear, but Danny Rick got badly held up in traffic on his last ditch lap, which probably cost him, I want to say, a good second and a half. He just didn't have the gap that I thought he did and got caught up behind, I think it was 3 or 4 cars in a train. I was kind of hoping they would pit the previous lap, but they did not, which sucks for me, but hey, that's how it goes. But we are about a second up on everybody else, and the ERS is worth around a second, so we might be on pace with the front runners here, but we'll see. I will catch you at the end of qualifying.
We've just had a spin. Let's take a closer look. Now here we see Max Verstappen. That looked like a very nasty spin. The team are devastated. They'll be questioning just what happened out there.
So there you go, end of the first qualifying session for 2023, and Max Verstappen, fastest man on the track. But he won't start there because of the penalty he picked up in practice. So it'll be Leclerc and Perez on the front row. Verstappen might start P4. It might only be a 3-place penalty, in which case that won't really affect a whole lot. Sainz will be on the second row. Lewis and Pierre likely to share row 3. Ricciardo right behind him, alongside Alonso, with Bottas and Russell finishing the top 10. But Bottas has a penalty, so the 5th row will probably be George and K-Mag. All in all, a pretty good day, I think. We're, what, half a second off the pace? I'll take that. I think we can do something for the strategy. We did save a set of mediums, a second set of mediums. So we do go into the race with 2 brand new sets of mediums, a brand new set of softs, and also the brand new set of hards. I'm leaning towards the 2-stopper, medium, medium, soft. But if the tire degradation is a bit higher than expected, we can always switch it to medium, hard, soft. But we'll have to see what the race brings.
It's race day with the teams and drivers ready and raring to go.
AlphaTauri did rather well in qualifying. Let's see if they can manage to achieve a strong start for the race itself. Although we didn't see a standout performance from Alpine during qualifying, everything's still open to them during this race. And the weather is sunny here today, apart from a few clouds. Let's hope they remain scattered on the horizon.
And there's going to be a lot for the teams to handle. So will the drivers and their cars be able to cope with the pressure? Let's find out right here at the Bahrain Grand Prix.
So that's the proposed strategy for both our guys that we're going to attempt here. Going to start on the set of mediums, go to our second set of new mediums, and then finish on the softs. And as I have said before, only the top 6 are going to score points, so we're going to have to try and get as many points as we can early on, I think, because I believe that Ferrari, Red Bull, and Mercedes towards the end of the year are probably going to run away with the top 6 unless we can keep up development with them. So let's see what the race brings, shall we?
A partly clear night here. Drivers now lined up on the grid. And there we have Pierre Gasly. They might not be in the top 3 spots, but things could change fast once the race gets underway. And behind them, it's Ricciardo. They're in the front half of the pack, so there's plenty of potential for them. The teams are ready to go. Here we go with the Bahrain Grand Prix. It's lights out and away we go.
Thanks, Crofty. Looks like a bunch of people are on the soft tyres. Everybody except us. Oh, great. Okay. We are still 6th and 7th. Our guys are fighting away with each other. You know what? I'm going to save our tyre right now.
Yeah, take it easy.
Copy.
Both of them. And I think I'm going to put it on neutral for the ERS. See what we can do. Oh, the Verstappen goes for a spin.
Yellow ahead.
Yeah.
Let's take a closer look. Now here we see Max Verstappen. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. The car's just gone. And that was a bitter blow for the team. And it may have really hurt their overall chances.
So lap 1, Max goes for a bit of a spin. We are currently keeping pace with Lewis. Need to go back to interval, don't I, to see. There we go. Lewis is 1.5 seconds behind Perez. I wonder if we can
Use overtake.
Copy.
do anything about Lewis. I'm going to put it on overtake and see what we can do here. We need to try and get past Lewis, I think, because he's not as quick as the front three. So I'm going to keep it on overtake for now. And we'll see what we can do here. Oh, Pierre has a bit of a look there. Sweeps around the outside. Okay, let's deploy and see if we can
This is good.
catch up a little bit.
Need it.
Okay.
That's a position gained for Alpha Tauri.
Use energy if you need.
I'm going to go a little bit aggressive on the tyre here. Just to see if we can catch that up.
Yeah.
The top three.
We just need to push now.
Okay, understood.
Of course, Lewis has the DRS and Pierre does not. If Pierre can fend him off, then that's good. He has a little bit there. So let's see how we go and see if we can push up to the top three. Looks like we have for now. So I'm going to go back to standard and I think neutral for that. Max is still last. Ricardo's got fastest lap apparently. We are about 15% better on tyres than those guys.
Back off.
We'll see
Okay, understood.
if we can make them last. We need to go to about lap 20. Oh, safety car. We did see that, so I'm going to go conserve conserve and harvest. We are not going to stop. It is still far too early to do that, and I think, you know what, we're going to go avoid the curbs and drive in clean air. Looks like Perez and one of the Ferraris, Carlos, I'm going to ignore.
No DRS. Powering up.
Yep, understood.
Let's take a look at the replay. Let's have another look. Science is the focus here. That's the contact there. Oh, there's chaos on the track.
So the question is Leclerc going to pit? He is not. So we are second and fourth. Sainz pits. Perez is out. This will help Verstappen, of course. The one thing I did notice in practice is Ricciardo still has his McLaren numbering. It's the light blue. It actually does mean that you can see it on both ends of the car, whereas Pierre's 10 is a little hard to see on the front. It's the same color as the nose cone. And it does mean that Yuki, his 22, is the dark blue, which doesn't really suit the McLaren, not gonna lie. Oh yeah, one thing I completely forgot. Leclerc won the championship last year, so he's got the number 1. So I guess that means that Verstappen will have his 33 back, yes? Yeah, it looks like he does. Oh, there you go. I'm glad that is in the game. I did think about maybe getting
Safety car will be
another livery for the AlphaTauri. I know there's a inversion one on race department. But with the new car model, it's not quite, doesn't quite fit perfect. I'm gonna go back to these before I forget.
And when we restart overtaking.
Right, when will he go? So he's going, I'm gonna go aggressive, I'm gonna go push, and we're gonna go deploy. See if we can do anything about this.
Happy to push.
Okay.
Away goes Pierre. See if we can get around Charles. We got the run on him? No, we don't. Charles shuts the door. Ricardo's got a bit of a run around the outside of Lewis. Trying to keep the car there. I don't think he's managed that. I think Lewis is a bit too wise for that move to work. Actually, let's watch Ricciardo, shall we? Is he going to stuff it up the inside here? He has! Nice move, Danny Rick.
Goods, come on. That's it.
Of course, we got the same power plant as Leclerc now.
Alpha Tower regained a place.
I think we'll go back to standard on the tyre.
Yeah, take it easy.
Oh, Pierre's got the inside line, I think, has he? I think he might, he does.
You're doing a good job.
Up the inside for Pierre.
That's a position gained for Alpha Tower.
And Ricciardo, does he have the power on Charles? He's trying. Has a look, can't quite manage it. Here comes Leclerc, having a look at Pierre and gets around him. But that's fine. We're just going to chill, I think, for now. But this is a lot better than last year, of course. Remember, pretty much whenever a Ferrari got around us, we could not stay with them for more than a lap.
Doing a good job. Keep pushing.
Whereas we are still right with Leclerc. I think the delta was about 0.7 of a second between the hards and the medium. And then the soft, I think, was another 0.7 quicker than the mediums. So we should have the better strategy. Lewis is in, Fernando's in, Bottas is in, and so is Lando and Albon. And Russell's about 3 seconds behind Ricciardo now.
Energy's good.
Our ERS is charged. So surely the Ferrari pits now. And he does, right. So now we need to go. So we're going to go standard and push. And I think we might go deploy for a little bit here. At least this lap. Just to see what we can do. So Leclerc is in free air. Which means he's got no DRS to help him or anything. I guess we shall see the pace soon enough.
Seems to have been a lockup. Here's the replay. Let's have another look. Science is the focus here. That lockup could have cost them dearly.
Okay, we're going to box Pierre this time round. And then we'll pit Danny Rick next time by.
Yeah, in the box.
Hey, firm.
We'll get to see exactly where Pierre comes out. Should be a couple seconds behind Lewis, hopefully in front of Sebastian. He is with Lewis perfectly, so let's pit Ricciardo this time round as well.
Box, box.
Okay.
We need to get around Lewis. And we have. Okay, we'll go back to neutral.
Good job.
Okay, in comes Ricciardo.
For Alpha Tauri.
Copy that. So use pit limiter, pit limiter.
He should be round Lewis and Pierre. There he goes. Science goes past. Actually, he might not be because, yeah, because Pierre was able to cling on to the back of Lewis. Okay, so now we are going to push on Ricardo, or at least on the engine,
Yep.
and see if we can close that down a bit, eh? Let's go on deploy
Use energy if you need it. Use energy.
for both our guys.
Okay.
Energy if you need it.
Copy.
We need to close down a second and a bit. See if we can do that, huh? You know what, I'm not going to go deploy for Pierre. We need to for Ricardo. He's got 5 seconds to Russell. Well, he gets around Carlos. Fastest lap, we've got 6 seconds. Yeah, Ricardo has caught right back up again, hasn't he? Okay, we're going to go to deploy for him. And we're going to go overtake, I think. For Ricardo. Needs to get around Sainz, who is on hard tyres. Yeah, Pierre's already pulled out 3 seconds. Let's had a look at Carlos.
That's a position gained for AlphaTauri.
Having a look at Lewis as well. Gets around him. Okay, we're going to go on to deploy for both our boys. I'm going to see if we can break away a bit.
Okay, cheers.
Okay, I'm going to go back to balance since we are chewing through a bit of our
Save fuel. Save fuel.
fuel. Unfortunately, it looks like Lewis is right there. Can't get past though, nice. Alright, Ricardo, let's see what you got, buddy. The battery is now empty. We are 1.6 in there, so now we're going to go neutral again.
Back off.
I think we're good. So we've broken away from Lewis. So I think now we're just going to
You want for speed.
chill for a bit, I think.
Okay.
Now, unfortunately, this does mean that we're not going to be able to save much fuel with Ricardo. Because he's in a bit of no man's land. But he is closing that gap. It was 7 seconds and now it's 5.96. So he's doing his job.
Use overtake.
Okay, now we're going to go. We need to go with Pierre here.
Energy if you need it.
Oh, he's in.
Okay.
Alright, Leclerc is in. That's a bit early than I was expecting. We're not going to stop for another 4 or 5 laps yet. So what are they going on? Leclerc is on a worn set of softs. Interesting. What about Lewis? Same thing. Okay. This is the optimal lap, but I think the longer we can stay out, the better our tyres are going to be at the end. I'll settle for a 1-2. Something that AlphaTauri Toro Rosso have never had.
Was that a lock-up on the track? Here's the replay. Now, just watch the Mercedes here. And there's the lock-up. It almost got away from them entirely. And that was a bitter blow for the team. and it may have really hurt their overall chances.
That could help us a bit. Tires are getting a little warm, he says. Alright, I'm going to go back to balanced for that. We're going to go neutral.
Save fuel.
Yeah, copy.
Going to go standard
Yeah, take it easy.
Yeah.
and standard for that. So we are pitting. Okay, so now we're going to go on a set of the softs. We've gone another 4 laps
Manual pit lane.
over what Charles and Lewis did. And we're going to have fresh set of softs on. Good stop, 2.9. In comes Ricardo. .9 as well. So is he going to emerge in front of Lewis with that mistake? He's going to be close. Just behind him. Okay. Well, we got the better car. Ricardo stuffs it up the inside
Need to charge.
and has DRS.
Okay, understood.
You know what? I think I'm going to push just a tiny bit.
Alpha Tauri gained
Half a lap. We just need to see if we can pull away from Lewis. Probably not. Pierre has cut that gap in half now. It's under 3 seconds. You know what? I think we should be watching him, shouldn't we? This could be his second ever career win here, and our first in the series. Ten laps to go. Did that Williams just unlap itself? Oh my lord. I think he did. There we go, he gets out of the way. I think we got DRS then from him. We did. Okay, beautiful. We can get in range of Charles, and we have. Then I think we're going to be golden here. Ricardo's pulling away from Lewis, 4.3 seconds now. Okay, so we are there. So now I'm going to go conserve and harvest, because we don't need to make the move just yet. Although, you know what? Screw it.
Use overtake.
Let's roll.
Copy.
Do it, Pierre.
And lean on the tyres more.
Okay.
Ferrari power versus Ferrari power. Now we see if we can run away from this. We're not stopping again. Leclerc may have to. Lewis is now over 5 seconds behind Ricardo. Pierre has pulled out over a second on Charles. And we got 7 laps to go. It's all looking good for us so far. 4 seconds in 2 laps. And Charles' tyres are going to be pretty much off the cliff. Yep, 29%. They are done now. Alright, let's see what Ricciardo can do here. Throw caution to the wind. Momentous day for the team. We're gonna go full on aggressive.
Seems to have been a lock-up.
Checkered flag.
From the start to the finish. I'm really pleased.
Let's see what happened there. It's first place for Pierre Gasly.
All credit to the team for the car they put together. But without that incredible and consistent driving, it'd all be for nothing.
So that is checkered flag, but you can keep pushing.
It's a good day for the team. Good points.
Brilliant, brilliant. Take all the pickup on the way in. Copy that, just take all the pickups.
So we missed out by 1.4 seconds. So I think the main difference was the fact that Pierre came out at that first pit stop with Lewis and was able to just save a little bit of his stuff before saying adios, or au revoir in his language, I guess, to Lewis, and then managed to get around Sainz later on, whereas Ricciardo had to push to get up to Lewis, and that basically meant that he didn't have as much fuel as what Pierre did. But hey, first and third, I will take it. Excellent day.
Well, this weekend, Pierre Gasly flew us to the stars. What a beautiful sight that is on the podium, and a true crowning achievement for everyone involved. The Frenchman was in sublime form today, fully deserving of his podium finish here. But there we see the three drivers with the biggest haul of points, and of course the silverware to boot. I think AlphaTauri will be very pleased with that result.
I agree, this was all very impressive. And it's obviously the work of a solid, well-run team.
After an intense weekend, the team ends in first place in the constructor standings.
The teams now look ahead to the next round, where they'll duel it out in the sand dunes of Saudi Arabia.
So there you go, first race of the season in the books. And it's a double podium for AlphaTauri, first time in their history as either AlphaTauri, Toro Rosso, or even Minardi. I don't believe they ever got a double podium. Looks like Pierre did get fastest lap in the end as well, 4/10 quicker than Carlos Sainz. So that will satisfy our performance clause. More money for us, I'll be very happy with that. And this is why I wanted to put the race bonus for both Pierre and Ricciardo higher than what they wanted. Pierre only wanted to finish 10th, and Ricciardo I think was 9th. So I'm a little frustrated with that. They weren't willing to aim a bit higher, but anyway, what can you do, right? So Gasly, Leclerc, Ricciardo are your podium finishers. Hamilton, Russell and Verstappen round out the points. And everybody else are out of luck in race 1. Sainz finishes P7, first man out of the points. Got a bit unlucky today, got taken out by Sergio early on in the race, and that basically ruined his entire day. He couldn't quite manage to claw it back to finish in the points. Vettel P8 for Alfa Romeo, pretty good day for him. K-Mag up there in P9 in the Haas. Alonso down a couple of spots to 10th for Alpine. Albon had a pretty good day there, up 5 spots in P11 in the Aston Martin. Norris 12th, Ocon 13th, Tsunoda 14th. Bottas probably going to be disappointed with that, down 3 spots to P15 in the second Alfa Romeo. Zhou Guanyu in the second Aston Martin finishes 16th. Latifi for Haas, P17. Stroll 18th and Schumacher 19th for Williams. Those 3 guys are a lap behind, and Perez did not finish due to his crash with Carlos Sainz about 5 or 6 laps into the race. Drivers' Championship is the exact same as the finishing order. Gasly leads the way, 4 points on Leclerc, got a couple points on Ricciardo. Lewis a point further back, George on 2 points, and Verstappen P6 on 1 point. Everybody else, big goose egg. And we lead the Constructors' Championship due to our double podium. I think us and Mercedes were the only 2 teams to get both cars home in the points. The Ferrari 8 points behind us, and Red Bull just the 1 point. I think that's the first time in this series that anybody other than Ferrari have been leading the Constructors' Championship. So there you go. I think we deserve a good pat on the back for that, eh? So money-wise, we only gained 2 million there due to the bonuses that we have to pay our drivers. Yeah, as it says, right? Bonus clause for Pierre Gasly. Finished 10th or better. Ricciardo 9th or better. I wanted to make it top 5. But anyway, whatever. We will just have to deal with that. We're going to get a little bit less money per weekend than what we got last season, but we did a lot of upgrades in the factory. Or the headquarters, I should say. We did a lot of upgrading in 2022, whereas in 2023 we'll just be probably just refurbishing stuff. I can't imagine that we'll be doing a whole lot of upgrading. There we go, Patrick Stafford from the board, saying that they watched the race from Bahrain and could not be happier that we led the team to victory. Rest assured, wins like this increase the board's confidence immensely and will guarantee you job security and funding in the seasons to come. Keep up the great work. Well, thank you, Patrick. It was a pretty hard-fought win in the end. We had to keep our head when Charles looked like he was able to pull away from us because he stopped earlier both times, and I think he had, what, about 6-second lead was the biggest he had, but we were able to chip away at that. And of course, being on the better soft compound tire at the end made all the difference in the ultimate race result. So we got 5.7 million in the bank. We are still making more rear wings and some underfloors. Our helipad refurbishment's going to be done before we get to the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix next time. Based on how this weekend went, I would love to get both Pierre and Daniel hometown wins. We can get Pierre victory at the French Grand Prix and Daniel victory in Melbourne, that would be something really cool. I will be pushing real hard to see if we can make that happen. But that's going to be in the future. That will be it from me and the AlphaTauri team with Dario Franchitti at the helm. A great race, a great day. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I will catch you next time. Thanks for watching, everybody. If you liked the video, you can hit the like button. If you want to see more videos, feel free to hit the subscribe button. If you want to leave a comment, go right ahead. This is Mystic Tez signing off. See you later.